nobody can figure out, besides nobody except the Israelis really knows for sure what the Israelis are up to. Like what's their I mean, certainly we heard some bloodthirsty rhetoric after October
Yeah.
7th
Yeah.
that, you know, we're gonna kill them all, we're gonna turn off their food, turn off their water. Now, the reason I always, you know, that's being dismissed by supporters of Israel as a, you know, intemperate language, overreacting in rage to the atrocities of October 7th, 2023. Okay, let's just say that were true. Um, but those people never retracted those statements, and they were allowed to remain in government. Now, Scott, if I worked for President Stantis and I went off on some wild, intemperate tear and said, you know, we're going to kill all the Canadians and we're going to turn off their food and they're not going to have medical care, you'd be like, Ted, you got to walk that back or I'm going to fire you. And like, if you didn't do that, it would be because you agreed with what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, you and I both know that, okay, the political background of this is also Netanyahu stays in power and vis-a-vis stays out of jail because of an alliance, and some would say an unholy alliance with the profoundly religious right-wing parties that are just batshit crazy.
They're fascist.
Yeah, I guess, okay. I would do that. And to say that they use intemperate language, to your point, Ted, this is where you and I will find agreement, is some of the language used by not just those parties, but let's talk about the settlers who are, in my view,
they're crazy too.
Illegal, and they're crazy. And
a lot of them are from right here in New York.
The dehumanization of Palestinians and the language used. I was talking to my wife this morning about this issue. And it's like, you know, never again until it does. Maybe there may be an addendum to that slogan. This is now reaching a point where it's heinous. This is now. You asked me several times, Ted, when is enough enough? And we've reached that point.
And what do you think the goal is here? I mean,
that's my point.
Here's the thing that's like, you know, so there's so much about it that's honestly peculiar, right? So you and I, we've studied history. We know a lot about war. And I can't say that I've seen a lot of wars that really follow this kind of trajectory, right? So basically, it starts out, this war doesn't start out that unusual. It basically is like, okay, we don't commit a lot of ground troops. We bomb the shit out of the place by air. Okay, we've seen that before. Then we're going to send in the ground troops to try to ferret out the people who are the Hamas people who are based in the tunnels underground. Okay, I understand too. That's kind of like what we saw in the Battle of Fallujah. But then that's when things start to turn hinky, because then the Israelis keep saying, okay, they issue a warning to an area. Everyone evacuate from this town. Go somewhere else. Everyone packs up and goes. Then they go in, they bomb the shit out of that town, in many cases, according to reporters, where there's no Hamas anywhere to be found. And then they send in demolition squads to demolish and detonate any building that survives, and carefully, methodically level it. They bring in bulldozers to level it. Then they tell the population, okay, you can go back there, but there's nothing to go back to. Then later on, they come back and issue another evacuation order for the same place that they already leveled to the ground. But and then they bomb it again, but there's nothing to bomb. I mean, it's like, the Gaza Strip's a small place, Scott. I mean,
it's about the size of Manhattan Island, right?
Right, exactly. And it's like, let me tell you, if you're bombing every single day for a year and a half, I mean, there probably wasn't much left after 3 months. So it's like, I mean, you know, the Israeli Air Force is very effective. It's kind of like, at this point, it's almost like they're running around in circles and playing the same game.
I don't know if it's circles, Ted, and this is where you and I will find some common ground, because we're not being told, and this is where I am, you know, I'm passionate about transparency and about communication, especially from the powerful to those of us who are not. I want to know what the hell the end game is here, and we're not being told. And the only conclusion you can make here is that they want to obliterate any Palestinian presence in Gaza. They're moving in on the West Bank, and also on Hezbollah in southern Lebanon.